I'm in a lot of pain. Hey guys, believe it or not, I'm back in hospital. When I last vlogged, I was going home and everything was just nice and dandy. We went in, we settled in with Huru. I've had a really bad fever. They can only give me paracetamol because I'm breastfeeding, so it's the safest. So the fever's been coming and going. So, story time, guys. I need to fully explain what led me back to hospital a week after having our son Marley. So I went in, and you've seen the video, went in, had Marley, didn't have the VBAC as I hoped for, but I think I'm going to address that in another video on FAQs around my delivery etc. So let's just pack that for now. Went into labor but didn't do a VBAC. Anyway, had the C-section, was discharged on Friday, so about 5 days later. Came home that Friday at about 11 p.m. I was with my husband and my mom-in-law, so she settled us nicely in the house and everything. And then kind of trying to get into a routine with Huru and Marley, and it was just a bit intense. So at 4 p.m., I needed to take a nap. Marley needed to be nursed. Huru wanted to hang out, so I decided to, you know, the nursing position where you lie down in the bed and you breastfeed your baby. And so I said, I'm going to wait for him to sleep, put him in the cot, and then I sleep. And then I did that, and I blacked out. I woke up at about 5:30, and Huru and the dad weren't there. I think they'd gone for a walk. But I woke up and I was having a strange feeling. I was in pain, but I knew it wasn't the C-section scars. Like, something's up. By the time the evening rolled in at around 7, my system felt like it was shutting down. I know that sounds so dramatic, but I was just feeling so, woozy and dizzy, and almost that feeling like your joints are paining. By 8:30, I was catching a fever, and this is when I realized something is wrong. So I called Shiro, my doula. Thank God. Guys, if you're able to get help with, from a doula, if you're able to access that, save up and access it, please do, because this is what happened. Eddie was with the boys, and there's no way he could have taken me to hospital. So she came and took me to hospital. And so I was getting to hospital. By the time I was leaving the house, I was shivering because I had caught a really bad fever. She took my temperature, and I think my fever was like 39, which is insane. Got to hospital, and by that time, basically between 10 and 1, they were trying to bring my fever down. I did a urine test. I did a blood test. This whole time, Eddie was home with my parents and the baby and Huru, and they were sleeping. And they were all just basically trying to wait for feedback on my condition. By 1, they still were trying to ascertain what the issue was, and they couldn't. And that's when they called my doctor, my gynecologist, and he, at 2 a.m., told me, you need to be readmitted. I was like, you're kidding me. What do you mean I need to be readmitted? He's like, you need to be readmitted because we don't really know what's happening and we need to figure it out. Again, I had a meltdown because it's like, my baby's at home. I want my baby. My firstborn is at home and my baby. So Marley was brought to me at like 3:30 at the hospital. I had already been put in my room, and the idea was, let's do further tests on you and try to figure out what's wrong. That was Saturday, 4 a.m. So, that Friday night going into Saturday type thing. Luckily, Marley was there. Huru had to stay with my parents because Eddie had to come to the hospital with me, and we needed to figure out what was going on. And the whole of Saturday, I remember I had fever, literally from 9 to 4. All they were trying to do was keep my temperature down. They didn't want to give me any strong medication in the hospital because I was breastfeeding. So the fever would spike and then come down, spike and come down, and it was torture. But eventually, at the end of that day, they were still trying to figure out what's wrong. And the following day, Sunday, was a whole other issue. This time, I was jaundiced. I think that day I had jaundice. And so I was itching and my eyes were yellow. And the whole time we're like, what exactly is going on in my body? It's a new issue every day, which is so insane. I don't know. I'm still being super optimistic. The reason I'm itching so much and my eyes are yellow is because now it turns out I have jaundice. So the jaundice spilled over to Monday, and this time it was accompanied by a sharp pain in the upper part of my abdomen. And so he felt around and he said the pain is here. It's coming from around your intestines, but we're not sure. So basically it was all up in the air. By Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm trying to figure out, I think it was by Wednesday, the pain was so bad I couldn't breathe. And so they said you need to go for an MRCP. And basically we need to figure out what's happening in your abdomen, in your uterus. The MRCP procedure is torture because you're in this kind of like capsule machine. They give you headphones and it sounds like it's a construction site. So it's just da, 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 in your head. And I remember I was warned. So mentally I was prepared. So you're lying down in this capsule looking up. There's all these sounds going on in your head. Then he's asking you, breathe in for 15 seconds. Okay, breathe out. And we went on for 30 minutes. And he told me, we can see gallstones in your system. And I said, I'm sorry, what do you mean you can see gallstones? I don't think gallstones are for people my age. He's like, there's gallstones. And that's what's making you have all that pain. And that's what had caused the jaundice, because there was an issue now. My system was now struggling to comprehend all that. And my digestive system was being compromised. So by that time, I was in pain. It wasn't excruciating, but then the buildup began. I was wheeled back to my room. Now the doctor was like, now we know what the issue is. You have gallstones, and it kind of looks like your gallbladder also has issues. To say it's super frustrating would be an understatement, but I'm just trusting God that this nightmare will be over soon, and I'll just be able to be mom and wife with my family. I have cried my heart out, but also been surrounded by so much love and support, so that's been super helpful. So by this time, I'm being surrounded by family and the doctor, and we were like, okay, how do we fix it? Because I have a baby right next to me. I've just had a C-section. I have a firstborn at home. What do I do? And they say there's two options. One is we flush out the gallstones and then bring you back here later, a few months later, to have your gallbladder removed. I said, no. Okay, what's the other option? He said, the other option is we flush out the gallstones and remove your gallbladder, and you do those in two different procedures. And at this time, I'm just thinking, why? But I asked, how invasive is that procedure? He said, no, it's a laparoscopy, so it's not that intrusive and invasive. So I said, let's do it. I know we were all worried as a family because I just had a cesarean section, but I said, I need this to be fixed. I don't want to come back a few months later. And so that was Wednesday. That's the decision. That's the day we made the decision. And that whole day, I was in the most excruciating pain I've ever been in my entire life. And everyone will tell you, everyone who's had gallstones will tell you, it just feels like someone's tearing your insides. For 3 hours straight, I was in pain. No pain medication was keeping it down. I was in pain. I was sobbing. I was distressed. I was like, why is it? But the whole time there was family there. And Mali, bless his soul, even now, he's just a very, very peaceful, calm baby. He was sleeping through all that drama, fast asleep for like 3-4 hours. And I would breastfeed. The good thing is I was able to breastfeed. My milk supply was still really good. I was able to express. So Wednesday, they told me to fast until a space opens up for the procedure. So that day I fasted from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. because that's when a space opened up. And it was such a crazy afternoon because as much as there was all that drama, there was my mom-in-law, my sister-in-law Mo, and my sister-in-law Tabby. We ended up having a party in the room. It was so much fun. And of course, Marley was with us the whole time. So 7 p.m. came, and then I started to get nervous because you never know how surgery will go. And a laparoscopy, it's not that intrusive. They cut a little hole in your stomach, and then they put a camera and some equipment inside that's able to carry out the job. I promise you I'm going to tell it like that because I don't want to get too technical. As I was about to be wheeled in, I remember holding Marley, and that's the first time that day I really cried because I was kissing him. And I remember everyone was like, no, give us the baby. He's going to be fine. And I kept calling his name, Marley. So apparently my gallbladder was very sick, and it was sludgy, which is so gross. It was a sick organ. It needed to first be decompressed, and then the next procedure was for it to be removed. So that lasted about 2 hours. The whole time I was comatose, except I woke up towards the end of the procedure. So this is what happens. I wake up. You can't talk. You can't move. So I was just there praying. Literally, I was just like, God, please. And then I figured, everyone seems to be calm. I can even hear people laughing. Okay, I'm just going to stay calm. So I calmed down, breathed, but I could feel everything down my throat. It was the most insane feeling. Next thing, I've blacked out. The next time I woke up, I was back in my room, and it was 3 a.m. In fact, I remember waking up. Mo, bless her heart, Mo spent a night in hospital to help with my child, Sita Sahau, and my mom. My mom was there for a couple of nights, but Mo stayed for that night. And I remember Mo holding my baby, and my mom was kind of like, they were both with him. And I just remember asking, how's Mali? And they were like, he's fine. Can you just sleep? And then I remember asking, what time is it? And they said it's 3 a.m. The doctors came to see me. So 2 different doctors did the 2 different procedures. And they came in one by one to tell me the procedures went well. They were able to decompress the sick organ, and they were able to, and the second doctor said we were able to remove the gallbladder, and you're fine. And they were just like, you're just going to have to rest a lot. The pressure socks are so that you don't get blood clots. And they told me keep the pressure socks on for 2 weeks and make sure as and when you can, move around the house a little bit. Of course, you need to rest, but you also need to move around. So in a nutshell, that's what led me back, and that's why it took so many days. And that was a Wednesday. I needed to recover all of Thursday and to be discharged on Friday. I was trying not to think about it so much because everyone around me kept saying, oh my God, how are you managing? Oh no, I'm so sorry. But I kept saying, look, I need to get out of here. I need to get better, and I need to go home to my kids. Friday, I came home and I was trying to be ninja about being with the kids. I remember waking up on Sunday and my dress was covered in blood. And that's the day my family said, we're going to get you a home nurse to help you with the baby because you have had 3 procedures in 2 weeks. Stop trying to be superwoman. And I said, fine. So this is maybe my advice on a couple of things. One is the help you need, or the help you may need pre and post birth. A doula is super important if you can get a doula. She's just able to step in, hold your hand, walk you through what's happening to your body because she's a trained nurse. The second person that, if you're able to get, is a home nurse. I don't want to go too much into the costings. It's not affordable to everyone. I'm just going to have to say that. But there's every chance that you can talk to them. And what they do is they help you with the bathing, the feeding, anything you need help with. And remember, these are nurses who are trained in baby care. And it's been about 2 weeks. I may need them for another week or 2 before I'm able to now slowly get into the rhythm and also kind of train the nannies on just childcare. It's been a blessing. So it's not that you're a bad mom. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you can't do it. It's that if you've gone through a procedure like mine or worse, you need to rest. It's as simple as that. If you don't rest, you wind up back in hospital. And so I made peace with the fact that someone had to handle the baby. I nurse him. I spend time with him. I play with him. I have, I change him. I do all that. But they really come in when it comes to the certain times when you just need to rest. So I need to talk about that because I think if you can put aside funds, if you're able to, I appreciate not everyone is in a position to, do it. There's a name for gallbladder removal. Cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy. Removal of the gallbladder. That's the scientific term, cholecystectomy. So remember the role of the gallbladder, it helps in the digestion of our food. It holds bile produced in the liver until it is needed for digesting fatty foods. So it's an organ that the body can do without, but it still has a crucial role, especially in assisting the liver, so to speak, when it comes to the digestion of food and holding the bile produced by the liver. Without the gallbladder, you kind of need a lifestyle change. Here's the interesting thing. 3 of my cousins, and now 4, including me, on my mom's side, have all had our gallbladder removed. So that means it's in the family, and it can be in the family. So gallbladder issues or gallstone issues could be hereditary or lifestyle-based. And this is the other thing I want to advise you guys. If you have funny pains in your back or your abdomen, sometimes you could go to the doctor and say, I'm feeling like I have a strange pain, but here's my advice, get an ultrasound. An ultrasound will detect whether it's gallstones. They actually look like pebbles. Nimawe, it's like stones. And then what happens is because they're sharp and prickly, they really hurt you. My cousins who've had their gallbladder removed all say the same thing, change your lifestyle. My father has had his gallbladder removed. It's not on his side of the family. I think it's more on my mom's side. But it more affects people my dad's age, they say. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But now it's becoming that younger people are being affected because of our lifestyle. So for me, it's mostly could be family. But here's the thing, be careful about a bad lifestyle. It's the same thing that's causing hypertension. It's the same thing that's causing all these are lifestyle diseases. So here's what I'm eating now. Rice, njahe, also because I'm breastfeeding, so it stimulates. Chicken, spinach. All of these, by the way, are grilled. I'm not doing anything with oil. If I am, it's a little olive oil. I am having a ton of water, which has really helped me through this journey. I'm drinking and drinking and drinking, having a lot of, uji and soup is again for the breastfeeding. Domang guashe, that sweet potato arrowroot, managu, so super healthy diet. But that's my gallbladder story. I know it's super long. I hope it's made sense. For people out there, gallstones could happen to anyone. So just mind your body. Be in tune with what's happening to your body, because if gallstones are not removed in good time and they affect other organs around the gallbladder, I know for a fact the doctor said, like, for example, if it affected your pancreas, you could die. So that's really why I wanted to document this process and tell you this story, guys, just to enlighten you and say it can happen and you just have to be careful, And I'm going to insert a little, montage of how I'm also doing a lot of self-care. I'm just looking after myself a lot better, the whole routine to make me feel better, because it's been hard on me. You can't really leave the house much, you can't really do much. So how do you be kind to yourself? Here's a little glimpse of what I'm doing now, just to be kinder to myself. Usually I start by washing my hands with soap and water. I am so OCD, guys. Suddenly it's just times 10. Yes, I know I have this amazing relationship with Lifebuoy and we've walked this journey with them, but as a mom of 2 now, I'm just so much more aware of hand washing with soap. So I wash my hands with soap and water. And then after that, I moisturize my face. I make sure that I rub it with cotton wool before I then rinse my face with water. Usually I just use the tap water and not necessarily a bowl of warm water. And then after that, I come and moisturize my face. Now I'll either use a moisturizer or olive oil. So I put olive oil on my face, and then my lips are usually dry-ish. Sometimes you can see today they're a little cracked, so I use some lip balm. After that, believe it or not, I usually put on eyeliner and eyebrow pencil, but it just makes me feel better. That's as much as I'll do for makeup. I won't do anything else on my face. And then I use Pregna Multi, because it's important to use it for before and after pregnancy. So I'm still using it. I'll take 1 a day. And then finally, before I go and pick up baby Molly for a breastfeed, I make sure I sanitize my hands and my arms. Again, very important. I get all my visitors to do this as well when they come home, and they don't mind. And then I go upstairs and breastfeed my little one, or I'll just do it in the living room. So that's my story time. And I'm doing a 4-part series in collaboration with Lifebuoy, because the first 28 days are the most crucial for a newborn. You can see that my lifestyle entails, and my self-care entails, a lot of hand washing, a lot of sanitizing. That's who I am. And it's become times 10 because I'm more aware now. So please, if you can, please adopt the habit of hand washing with soap or sanitizing, even for your own good. Forget even handling a newborn baby, for your own good and well-being. Before you eat, after you use the loo. And I am walking this journey with Lifebuoy. I will continue to walk with Lifebuoy for a couple more years. I love that I'm part of this amazing family. And so look out for more videos and tell me what else you'd like me to talk about, given everything I've been through and my new lifestyle changes. If you like this video, please share it or give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for all the love and congratulatory messages. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You are so amazing. I love my subscribers. Thank you so much. And I feel like I learn a lot from you guys. So comment down below if there's something I may have maybe not explained right, or something else that you'd want to add, or anything else that you think you want to contribute. I'm open. Just be kind about it. Okay. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Gift ideas that I think are great for a mom and for baby.